Howdy, internet. Boy, that video is blurry. I'm going to see if I can... That did not help. I don't like how blurry the video is. I'm sorry. Hi, how are you? I'm here. It's time for another chapter of The Magic of Oz. I'm going to read in a moment after I get done yelling at the two little children for fighting and arguing. What's going on? If she doesn't want to cuddle you on the couch, she doesn't have to. You can't throw a fit about that. Okay, if you're going to cry, you can go to bed. It's up to you. What's your choice? Okay, then stop being fussy for no reason. You have no reason to be fussy right now. You're just getting weepy for no reason at all. And I'm not going to deal with it, okay? You can throw a fit, that's fine. Sometimes parenting is stressful. It's time for another chapter of The Magic of Oz, and tonight is chapter 13, The Loss of the Black Bag. If you recall last night, Kikiaru kind of freaked out when Dorothy and the Wizard and the Lion and the Tiger all showed up to the meeting of the Beasts of the Forest Gugu, and Kiki changed like half the important people into other things, and it's not going well. Oh, you didn't hear that. You heard nothing. And Kiki also stole the wizard's black bag of magical instruments, which I don't feel like is going to be a great thing either. And that's probably why chapter 13 is called The Loss of the Black Bag. Let's begin, shall we? Kikiaru, in the form of the Limanig, had scrambled into the high, thick branches of the tree so no one could see him. And there he opened the wizard's black bag, which he had carried away in his flight. He was curious to see what the wizard's magic tools looked like, and hoped he could use some of them and so secure more power. But after he had taken the articles one by one from the bag, he had to admit they were puzzles to him. For unless he understood their uses, they were of no value whatever. Kikiaru the Hyatt boy was no wizard or magician at all, and could do nothing unusual except to use the magic word he had stolen from his father on Mount Munch. So he hung the wizard's black bag on a branch of the tree and then climbed down to the lower limbs that he might see what the victims of his transformations were doing. They were all on top of the flat rock, talking together in tones so low that Kiki could not hear what they said. "This is certainly a misfortune," remarked the wizard in the fox's form. "But our transformations are a sort of enchantment, which is very easy to break, when you know how and have the tools to do it with. The tools are in my black bag. Where is the bag?" No one knew that, for none had seen Kikiaru fly away with it. "Let us look, see if we can find it," suggested Dorothy the lamb. So they left the rock, and all of them searched the clearing high and low without finding the bag of magic tools. The goose searched as earnestly as the others, for if he could discover it, he meant to hide it where the wizard could never find it. Because if the wizard changed him back to his proper form along with the others, he would then be recognized as Ruggedo the gnome, and they would send him out of the land of Oz and so ruin all his hopes of conquest. Ruggedo was not really sorry now that he thought about it, but Kiki had transformed all these Oz folks. The forest beasts, it was true, had been so frightened that they would now never consent to be transformed into men. But Kiki could transform them against their will, and once they were all in human form, it would not be impossible to induce them to conquer the Oz people. So all was not lost, thought the old gnome, and the best thing for him to do was to rejoin the Hyatt boy, who had the secret of the transformations. So having made sure that the wizard's black bag was not in the clearing, the goose wandered away through the trees, when the others were not looking, and when out of their hearing he began calling, "Kikiaru! Kikiaru! Quack, quack, Kikiaru!" The boy and the woman, the fox, the lamb, and the rabbit, not being able to find the bag, went back to the rock, all feeling exceedingly strange. "Where's the goose?" asked the wizard. "He must run away," replied Dorothy. "I wonder who he was." "I think," said Gugu the king, who was the fat woman, "that the goose was the stranger who proposed that we make war upon the Oz people. If so, his transformation was merely a trick to deceive us, and he has now gone to join his comrade, that wicked Limanig, who obeyed all his commands." What do we do now? Asked Dorothy. Shall we go back to the Emerald City as we are and visit Glinda the Good and have her break the enchantments? Sorry, my words are getting mixed up. I think so, replied the Wizard Fox. And we can take Gugu the King with us and have Glinda restore him to his natural shape. But I hate to have my bag of magic tools behind me. Without it, I shall lose much of my power as a wizard. Also, if I go back to the Emerald City in the shape of a fox, the Oz people will think I'm a poor wizard and will lose their respect for me. Let us make still another search for your tools, suggested the Cowardly Lion. And then if we fail to find a black bag anywhere in this forest, we must go back home as we are. Why did you come here anyway? Inquired Gugu. We wanted to borrow a dozen monkeys for use on Ozma's birthday, explained the wizard. We were going to make them small and train them to do tricks and put them inside Ozma's birthday cake. Well, said the Forest King, you would have to get the consent of Rango the Gray Ape to do that. He commands all the tribes of the monkeys. Well, I'm afraid it's too late now, said Dorothy regretfully. Was a splendid plan, but we got troubles of our own. I don't like being a lamb at all. You're nice and fluffy, said the Cowardly Lion. That's nothing, declared Dorothy. I've never been especially proud of myself, but I'd rather be the way I was born than anything else in the whole world. The Glass Cat, although it had some disagreeable ways and manners, nevertheless realized that Trot and Cap'n Bill were its friends, and so was quite disturbed at the fix it had gotten them into by leading them to the Isle of the Magic Flower. By the way, there was like a big ... between these two paragraphs, so that wasn't just like Dorothy was talking, then we talked about the Glass Cat. There was like a bunch of dots, but I didn't realize I needed to read the ... to make this make sense. So, I'd rather be the way I was born than anything else in the whole world. ... The Glass Cat. That makes more sense now? The ruby heart of the Glass Cat was cold and hard, but still it was a heart, and to have a heart of any sort is to have some consideration for others. But the queer, transparent creature didn't want Trot and Cap'n Bill to know it was sorry for them, and therefore it moved very slowly until it had crossed the river and was out of sight among the trees of the forest. Then it headed straight toward the Emerald City and trotted so fast that it was like a crystal streak crossing the valleys and plains. Being glass, the cat was tireless, and with no reason to delay its journey, it reached Ozma's palace in wonderfully quick time. "Where's the wizard?" it asked the pink kitten, which was curled up in the sunshine on the lowest step of the palace entrance. "Don't bother me," lazily answered the pink kitten, whose name was Eureka. What are we doing? What are we laughing about?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It's making me laugh because, like...
Why are we laughing at my voices?
It's the way you said wizard. It was really funny.
"I must find the wizard at once," said the Glass Cat. Apparently the way the Glass Cat says wizard entertains my wife.
She's laughing at her thinking that.
"Then find him," advised Eureka, and went to sleep again. The Glass Cat darted up the stairway and came upon Toto, Dorothy's little black dog. "Where's the wizard?" asked the cat. Now I'm just doing it more ridiculously every time because it's making my family laugh. And that's not going to end well because it's just going to get worse every time I have to say it. "Where's the wizard?" asked the Glass Cat. "Gone on a journey with Toto," replied Toto. "With Dorothy," replied Toto. "Where did they go and where have they gone?" demanded the cat. "Well, they went yesterday, and I heard they would go to the great forest in the Munchkin country." "Dear me," said the Glass Cat, "that's a long journey." "But they rode on the Hungry Tiger and the Cowardly Lion," explained Toto, "and the wizard carried his black badge and magic tools." The Glass Cat knew that the great forest of Gugu well, for it had traveled through this forest many times in its journeys to the land of Oz, and it reflected that the forest of Gugu was nearer to the Isle of the Magic Flower than the Emerald City was. And so, if it could manage to find the wizard, it could lead him across the Gillikin country to where the Trot and Cap'n Bill were...
I think your mom's broken. If anybody says the word wizard, she just starts laughing.
If anybody says the word wizard, my wife just starts giggling.
Normally she starts like giggling.
If I say wizard, she laughs. I don't know. Apparently the word wizard is real funny. She should never watch a Harry Potter movie. This woman better never watch a Harry Potter movie. You're a wizard, Harry. I don't know. We've completely lost the thread. I'm sorry. We need to get back to the book. It was a wild country and little traveled, but the glass cat knew every path, so very little time need be lost after all. Without stopping to ask any more questions, the cat darted out of the palace and away from the Emerald City, taking the most direct route to the forest of Gugu. Again, the creature flashed through the country like a streak of light, and it would surprise you to know how quickly it reached the edge of the great forest. There were no monkey guards among the trees to cry out a warning, and this was so unusual that it astonished the glass cat. Going further into the forest, it presently came upon a wolf, which at first bounded away in terror. But then, seeing it was only a glass cat, the wolf stopped, and the cat could see it was trembling, as if from a terrible fright. I can't do the cat voice correctly now. The cat sounds like Miss Piggy. The cat used to sound like Miss Piggy before Miss Piggy just started screaming wizard at everyone. And now I can't...
Maybe
Wizard! I gotta... What's the matter? Asked the glass cat. A dreadful magician has come among us, exclaimed the wolf, and he's changing the forms of all the beasts quick as a wink and making them all his slaves. The glass cat smiled and said, Why, that's only the... Now, that's not the cat's voice at all. Why, that's only the Wizard of Oz. He may be having some fun, but you forest people, but the wizard wouldn't hurt a beast for anything. I don't mean the wizard, explained the wolf. And if the Wizard of Oz is that little funny man who rode a great tiger into the clearing, he's been transformed himself by the terrible magician. The wizard transformed? Why, that's impossible, declared the glass cat.
Anytime you say the word wizard, she laughs. Are you okay? Wizard.
No, it isn't. I saw him with my own eyes change into the form of a fox. And the girl who was with him was changed into a woolly lamb. The glass cat was indeed surprised. When did that happen? It asked. Just a little while ago in the clearing. All the animals had met there, but they ran away when the magician began his transformations, and I'm thankful I escaped my natural shape, but I'm still afraid I'm going to go somewhere to hide. With this, the wolf ran on, and the glass cat, which knew where the big clearing was, went toward it. But now it walked more slowly, and its pink brains rolled and tumbled around at a great rate because it was thinking over the amazing news the wolf had told it. When the glass cat reached the clearing, it saw a fox, a lamb, a rabbit, a munchkin boy, and a fat Yellikin woman all wandering around in an aimless sort of way, for they were again searching for the black bag of magic tools. The cat watched them a moment, and then it walked slowly into an open space. At once the lamb ran toward it, crying, "Oh, wizard, here's the glass cat."
Mom! You said the word wizard.
A wizard! It's a glass cat. Where, Dorothy? Asked the fox. Here. The boy and the woman and the rabbit now joined the fox and the lamb, and they all stood before the glass cat, and speaking together almost like a chorus, asked, "Have you seen the black bag?" I don't know why. That's why the chorus sounded like... I can't keep doing that voice. Often, replied the glass cat, but not lately. It's lost, said the fox. We must find it. Are you the wizard? Asked the cat.
Mom!
Yes. And who are these others? I'm Dorothy, said the lamb. I'm the cowardly lion, said the munchkin boy. I'm the hungry tiger, said the rabbit. I'm Gugu, king of the forest, said the fat woman. The glass cat sat on its hind legs and began to laugh. My, what a funny lot, exclaimed the creature. Who played this joke on you? It's no joke at all, declared the wizard.
Mom!
It was a cruel, wicked transformation. The magician that did it has the head of a lion, the body of a monkey, and the wings of an eagle, and a round ball at the end of its tail. The glass cat laughed again. That magician must look funnier than you do. Where is he now? Somewhere in the forest, said the cowardly lion. He just jumped under that tall purple tree over there, for he can climb like a monkey and fly like an eagle. Then he disappeared in the forest. And there was another magician just like him who was his friend, added Dorothy. But they probably quarreled, for the wickedest one changed his friend into the form of a goose. And what became of the goose? Asked the cat, looking around. He must have gone away to find his friend, answered Goo-Goo the king. But a goose can't travel very fast, so he could easily find him if we wanted to. The worst thing of all, said the wizard, is that my black bag is lost. It disappeared when I transformed. If I could find it, I could easily break these enchantments by means of my magic, and we would resume our own forms again. Will you help us search for the black bag, friend cat? Of course, replied the glass cat, but I expect the strange magician carried it away with him. If he's a magician, he knows you need that bag, and perhaps he's afraid of your magic. So he probably took the black bag with him, so you won't see it again unless you find a magician. That seems reasonable, remarked the lamb, which was Dorothy. Those pink brains of yours seem to be working pretty well today. If the glass cat is right, said the wizard in a solemn voice, there's more trouble ahead of us. That magician is dangerous, and if we ever go near him, he may transform us into shapes not as nice as these. Well, I don't see how we could be any worse off, growled Goo-Goo, who was indignant because it was forced to appear in the form of a fat woman. Anyway, said the cowardly lion, our best plan is to find a magician and try to get the black bag from him. We may manage to steal it, or perhaps we can argue him into giving it to us. Why not find the goose first? Asked Dorothy. Goose will be angry at the magician. He may be able to help us. That isn't a bad idea, returned the wizard. Come on, friends. Let's find that goose. We will separate and search in different directions, and the first to find the goose must bring him here, where we will meet again in an hour. And that is the end of chapter 13, The Loss of the Black Bag. That was insane. That should not have taken me 19 minutes to read. But I got on a tangent about the wizard! So
You didn't say wizard in your regular voice, and you just...
I don't know, it's just the way he says wizard, it just makes me giggle.
Hey, honey. Hey, shh, everybody. Shh. Hey, honey. Wizard. It works. I don't know why. All right. Good night, everyone. Join us back here tomorrow night for chapter 14. I don't know what's going on.